This is Josh's Dovo razor is mounted in my microscope, and I have my microscope connected to my computer. This is an image here, live image of his blade's edge. It has sort of a spotted pattern, no distinct striations from a sharpening stone. The edge is relatively straight, but very irregular. So I'm going to take the razor out of the holder here, over to my sharpening station. So what I'm going to do is take his razor, dull it on glass, I'm going to set the bevel on this 1K King and finish the stone off this number 430 Nakayama Asagi. So I'll set the Asagi aside, splash some water. This is a lapped 1K, 1000K stone. Because I've never worked on this razor before and the bevel was not reset by myself, I'm going to put a few extra strokes into it. So I'm making all diagonal strokes here so that when I view the edge under my microscope, these strokes from this stone will look diagonal. Okay, we're hoping that that is a set bevel. So now we're going to go back to the microscope and view it and see how the bevel really is set. So I have a magnet here on my microscope platform to hold the razor. So I roll it into place, and it should appear on the screen here. Just went a little too far. Okay, so you can see the diagonal strokes. This is at 800 power. Also you can see how each stroke continues all the way to the very edge. They don't stop here, it doesn't look fuzzy up there. Each stroke actually goes right to the very edge. And that's what I consider to be a set bevel, meaning the bevel is flat from the base of the hollow ground all the way to the very edge of the razor. Okay, so I'm satisfied with a bevel set. That's at 1000 grit. I'll take the razor back over here to the stone. Okay, so we're done with the 1K. Put that back in my bucket. This is the Asagi. I don't want to transfer any grit from the 1K to the Asagi, so rinse it off really good and wipe with a clean towel. Okay, the Asagi has a nice green tint to it. Asagi and Kita are both from Tomae stratostones, so there's a little bit of yellowness in the stone, and you'll see when I raise the slurry with this diamond plate how the slurry doesn't look so white. There's just a tinge of yellow in it too. There's a worn out diamond Atma diamond plate. So we're going to use the axe method. We're testing this stone with its own slurry to see how we can sharpen this plate up. So all my strokes are forward, and they are diagonal to the blade. The blade's diagonal to the stone. So those previous diagonal strokes or scratches are now going to be perpendicular to the blade. So push the slurry back up. Okay, that was 20. Okay, that was 20 on the two sides. Each side had 20. What I'm going to do is bring the blade back over to the microscope just to show myself and you how what 20 strokes will do as far as removing the previous scratch pattern from the 1K king. Okay, got the blade mounted in there and roll it into view. Okay, so remember how those scratches looked before? They're all gone. This is the remainder of 2 of those diagonal scratches. Everything else now is at right angles to the edge. So we've developed within 20 strokes, and it probably at 10 looked very righteous. Now all we have are Nakayama scratches. So we've gone from bevel set to a Nakayama edge. You can see the edges flattened out there quite a bit too, in just 20 strokes per side. So I'm going to go back over to the stone, set up my microscope again, my camera. I'm carrying a tripod back and forth. Okay, so we're at 20 strokes. I'm going to go down to 10. Okay, there's 10. Pull the slurry back up. There's 10. Five. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, I want to preserve this slurry, so rinse it down onto the stone a little bit with some clear water. Okay, now I'm going to strop the razor. I have a plain leather strop here. There's no paste or anything. And I'm going to use 20 strokes on a tabletop strop. Okay, that's 20. Back to the stone. Again, rinse off my blade. Okay, I'm going to do 20 strokes again. 20 stroke progression. Okay, you might notice I'm using a sliding stroke on the spine, which distributes the pressure to the edge, so it's generally even. The whole width of the blade gets some type of attention at one point or another. Okay, there's 10. That squeaking is just a vibration. Okay, so that should do it. Rinse off the blade. And I'm going to strop it again. Okay. I'm gonna test the blade now to see if it'll pass the HHT test. That was pretty easy. That fell off right over there. Those are definitely 3s, maybe 4s. That bounced back onto my thumb. That popped over here. So I'm looking at 3s and 4s on this edge. And of course the next step is to go in and shave test it. But from bevel setting to finishing on the Asagi, I think we're looking at, although this video is 13 minutes long, that's probably about a 6-minute process, maybe 8 minutes. Oh, before I hang up, I want to go back to the microscope and let's look at this edge as it turned out under the microscope. Draw it back into place. Okay, there's what the edge looks like off the Nakayama. Very even, and this is going to be what they call a hazy bevel. So I'll take a photo of that. Now, there is one other thing that we could do, and that would be to have jointed the edge to make it straighter. But I want to simplify the whole system here so that we have a good idea what the potential of that stone is. Okay, so that's the end of the video.